According to the Federal Reserve, if you have at least $400 saved for an emergency, you are already in a better financial situation than 1/3 of Americans. It is well known that most people manage their finances poorly, and there seem to be few people responsible for their money. A healthy relationship with money doesn't necessarily entail being extremely wealthy or having a large salary. Rather, it simply implies that you make responsible judgments, don't frequently make reckless ones, and are at ease with your income and expenses. What are some of the most typical causes of people being in debt, and how can you prevent them? Check to be sure you're not making these errors that could keep you in debt indefinitely. Broke as a joke has become part of our everyday vernacular. We are broke, can't afford to go out, or don't have money to buy that. Growing up in an urban area, I got to know many perpetually broke people. They would make all the right noises about how they would get back on track soon, but you wouldn't believe how many of them are still broke all these years later. If you want to know why most people are broke and what you can do about it, watch this video to the end. My name is Marcus, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you are interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if this video is helpful. They don't budget. One of the primary reasons people are still broke is because they don't budget. Budgets help people stay on track with their money. Without them, it's easy to get into debt because you're unaware of how much you're spending. Budgeting isn't about being miserly. It's about understanding your income and expenses so that you can make informed decisions regarding where your money goes. Make a budget as part of your weekly planning routine so you can overview where your money is going each week. You'll be surprised at how much control you have over your finances. Listing all your income and expenses on a spreadsheet can be unsettling, which is one reason budgeting may have a bad reputation. But it's important to remember that budgeting isn't punishment. It's a tool that can help you achieve your financial goals. They don't have clear defined financial goals. The first step in each financial decision you make is to set financial goals. How will you boost your income? If you're lost, pay off debt, or take a break from work when you set financial goals, you guide your future financial decisions. They give you an economic direction and a sense of purpose. Additionally, without them, your financial life will lack accountability. Without defined financial goals, it becomes challenging to make informed decisions about how best to use your money and where it goes each month, per week, per year. Defining what constitutes financial freedom is up to each individual, but having a few general areas you would like to improve makes planning much more accessible. Often, achieving financial freedom means doing more with less, be it paying off debt, saving money, or investing. Putting all of your finances into one big bucket makes tracking and measuring progress much more manageable. Achieving financial stability starts by creating a system for managing your money that you're comfortable with and with which you have input. Whether it's a budget spreadsheet, dollar-by-dollar breakdowns, or something altogether different, find what works best for you and stick to it. They don't think about the future. Most people choose to enjoy life now while they still earn money, which is one of the most common reasons for their financial problems. By constantly taking on new debt, they often sacrifice the future to pay off past debts. Believe it or not, most people think about the short term when making financial decisions instead of long-term consequences. For example, if you want to buy a new car but only have $2,000 saved and your credit score is low, you may be tempted to take out a loan to purchase the vehicle. But by doing so, you will likely end up owing more money in interest over time. However, it's essential to strike the correct balance between playing for the future and to enjoy the moment. You want to make wise decisions today that will have a positive impact down the road while making investments for your future. They don't prepare for emergencies. If you don't find a way to prepare for financial emergencies, you're setting yourself up for disaster. By not having a backup plan, you may find yourself in deep debt if something unexpected happens. For example, suppose you have $5,000 saved but no emergency fund. If your car breaks down and you're forced to stay away from work for a week, your bank account will quickly run out of money unless you've planned for this possibility. Therefore, it's important to create an emergency fund that has enough money to cover at least 3 months' worth of expenses, or even longer if necessary. Additionally, you should ensure you understand your credit score so that you're prepared for any adverse consequences due to a financial emergency. They have expensive habits. Rich people aren't the only ones that have expensive habits. There are many expensive habits that poor people have, which is one thing keeping them from getting ahead financially. Many people who can't afford to pay their bills don't realize how crucial their shopping habits are. Little habits such as eating out frequently, going on costly vacations, and purchasing pointless items are all examples of little habits that add up over time. By taking the time to list all of your expenses and categorize them according to the purpose, for example, groceries, rent, mortgage, utilities, you'll be in a better position to understand where you're overspending and find ways to save money without feeling deprived. For example, if you earn only $10,000 per year but need to spend $15,000 on food, clothes, and other basic needs to keep your head above water, you will quickly end up with a lot of debt. Additionally, by spending more than you earn, you may miss out on opportunities that could triple your income. They spend money to impress people. It has been said that most people buy things they don't need with money. They don't have to impress people. They don't like this. Goes on to say nothing will make you go broke faster than trying to impress others with how much money you have. People often turn to credit cards and other forms of debt to impress others. You might feel a sense of satisfaction when making a large purchase to look good, but that feeling will be short-lived. That purchase can set you back for the long term, long after that initial impression to those people. This is a losing battle, and the financial setback for this false sense of fulfillment usually isn't worth it. But it does not necessarily mean you should not look good, but rather do not buy things for yourself to impress others. And most importantly, they don't pay themselves first. Apart from deciding to spend money responsibly when trying to get ahead, it's important to realize that it's nearly impossible to build wealth by saving money alone. You must consistently put your money to work over a long period. Paying yourself first is one of the simplest ways to improve your finances that most poor people don't do. The key here is to ensure that your initial paychecks go a long way in reducing your debt burden. Doing this will help you live a more modest life while still having enough money left over each month to save and invest. They have bad debt. Not all debt is created equal. There are generally two forms of debt, good and bad. Good debt, such as a mortgage or student loan, is used to purchase an asset that will generate income and make you money in the future. On the other hand, bad debt is used to buy things like cars, electronics, vacations, etc. Items that don't improve your financial situation in any way and increase your burden down the road. It's important to be careful when taking on new debt, especially if you cannot afford it easily. Most people tend to take on more bad debts than good ones because they're easier and faster. However, this often leads to long-term financial problems because good debts generate money that can be used to pay off bad debt and build savings. They'll live beyond their means. Many people overspend because they don't track their expenses closely enough. When you're not careful, small increases in costs like an unexpected bill can lead to large out-of-pocket expenses down the road. If you want to avoid becoming a broke person, make sure you track all your spending and adjust your budget as needed. They overspend on items they don't need. Buying things simply because you can or think others will judge you is a sure way to wind up broke. Instead, take the time to assess what truly matters to you and only purchase things that will improve your quality of life. This might mean skipping the new shoes or clothing release season in favor of something more affordable but still stylish. They rely on their income to support their lifestyle. If your income isn't enough to cover all your costs, you'll wind up in debt. Instead of using your income to pay off bad debts and build savings, you'll be rebuilding those same points repeatedly. If you can't afford a particular item or habit, it's important to figure out where the money is missing before taking on new debt. They don't invest consistently. First off, I think it's important for you to understand that saving money will not make you rich. To become wealthy, you need to put your money to work, which means consistent investing over a long period. The biggest mistake people make when saving is not investing their money consistently. It's also important to understand that if you invest your money correctly, there will be occasional dips in which your portfolio may take a hit temporarily. This is part of the process. Drops are what lead us towards greater success in the long run. Do you know the difference between broke people and wealthy people? Broke people pay interest, while wealthy people earn interest. Final thoughts. The majority of people are broke because they make bad financial decisions. I'm aware of this, and I used to be one of those people who made poor financial judgments. Therefore, if you find yourself in the same situation, you may want to reflect on a few things. Are you living on a budget? Do you have a cushion to cover any unexpected costs? Are you investing your money correctly so that it will grow over time? If you can answer yes to all of these questions, then I believe you are on your way to becoming financially stable and independent. To overcome your financial struggles, you need to be disciplined and invest your money to give you the best chance of long-term success. Additionally, it is important to avoid debt at all costs and ensure that your income covers your expenses. Finally, Remember that saving does not make someone wealthy. Successful people are those who have been able to put their savings into something productive over time.